Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. This week, I have a very special guest with me. They say that your mess becomes your message, and that has never been more true than in my next guest's life. It is my sister. Her name is Renee, and she had some health issues that she couldn't get the answer to from any traditional doctor. She did a whole lot of research, which led to her becoming a healthcare practitioner in a different way. And she's going to explain that to you. I don't want to describe it wrong. But I'm so excited to have her here because we talked about how much we give of ourselves behind the chair and how much energy is sucked out of us from some of our clients. We talk about energy vampires, how some clients just really suck the life out of us. And she's here today in the coffee chat to help you not have that happen. And when it is happening, how to deal with it. So welcome to the coffee chat, Renee Lennox.
Hello, everyone. And Elaine, thank you for having me on.
So I never know how to describe you. I said, I think I said healthcare practitioner, but that still sounds very doctor office-ish. Yours is more of the, is it Western is what you do in Eastern, or are you Eastern and doctors are Western? Which one is it? I always get
Doctors are Western. Doctors are Western. Yeah, I went back to school and studied at Trinity School of Natural Health. So I'm a certified holistic healthcare practitioner. It's like a naturopath. I can help you in more natural ways to heal any physical, mental, or emotional issue that you're dealing with. And I'm also a Reiki master. And I have I practice a lot of energy healing modalities called emotion code, body code, psych K, and theta healing. And that's what I wanted to focus on. I can help you with any kind of gut issues. You know that, Elaine. I helped you with all your gut issues because all disease begins in the gut. So anybody having any kind of gut issues, autoimmune issues, sleep issues, I can definitely help you with. But when I was going through my 7-year healing journey, I was doing all the proper diets, proper supplements, following everything to a T. But the final missing piece was dealing with the emotional part. That was the game changer. All my health issues began when I was going through a divorce after 20 years of marriage. Our dad was diagnosed with lung cancer and was having his left lung removed. And I moved into a new house with my 3 children, and it flooded out 3 times in a row. So it was just the perfect storm. And as you'll learn, fear affects your kidneys, bladder, and low back. And I had the most horrendous UTI infection that they put me on broad spectrum antibiotics, and I didn't kick it. And I wound up having to take 3 weeks worth of broad spectrum antibiotics, and it completely stripped my whole microbiome. And it was a 7-year journey trying to get that microbiome back. But once I went back to Trinity to school, and they were teaching us about emotion code and body code, and I started doing it on myself. And that was the game changer because I finally addressed the emotional issues. And we have never, ever been taught to pay attention to our emotional guidance system. Like when you wake up every day, there's an emotional scale, and up 1 through 7 is like love, joy, appreciation, happiness, enthusiasm, optimism. Once you dip down into the lower frequencies, like worry is number 14. I don't know how many of your audience are worriers, but I tell all my clients from this day forward, don't ever say the W word ever again. It's praying for things that you don't want. It's not believing that the universe has your back, and it is lowering your frequency and vibration. So every day when you wake up, depending on what emotion you're feeling, every one of those emotions has a frequency and vibration. So when you wake up in the morning, if you open up your cell and you see a text that pisses you off, that's automatically going to bring you down into a lower vibration. And then you're going to walk into the salon and you're at that same frequency and vibration. And the laws of the universe, all you're attracting to you are things at that same frequency and vibration. So I'm sure a lot of the stylists haven't really thought about, like, what is my vibration right now coming into the salon, and what's the vibration of my entire salon. There, every day your thoughts and words are creating your reality and affecting where you are on this emotional scale. And every day we're either living up in love and abundance frequency or the fear frequency with everything that we do. So when you're down in fear, you're believing in false evidence appearing real, or failure to experience the actual reality. You don't want to be down in that place. And you want your salon to be up in that love and abundance frequency. Like, I just went to your salon, Elaine,
Mhm.
to have my blonde done. And when I go in there, I feel so good. And all you stylists don't realize that you are energy healers every day. Like, I'm an energy healer, but you are also energy healers. Not only are you making people beautiful and feel fantastic and be the best version of themselves beauty wise, you're also making your clients feel heard, seen, loved. You're listening to them, you're seeing them, you're giving them physical touch. You're holding a sacred space for them where they can be their authentic self. And every day you guys you're giving your empathy, your compassion, your kindness, unconditional love to these people. You're giving, 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 and giving so much energy. And I'm a trained energy healer. So, like, each client that I work on afterwards, I release any negative energies that I've picked up, where you guys are giving yourselves all day long to people. And you're absorbing a lot of energies and you're taking on, yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of clients that are coming in at a low frequency and vibration, and you're picking all that stuff up, and then you're not releasing it. And then you're going home to your families, your children, your husband, and you're sucked dry with your energy. So one of the things I recommend, like, when you first come in, well, this is what I tell my clients every day. Like, the night before you get your restorative sleep, you wake up in the morning, you have the choice. If you're going to dredge up something from yesterday that pissed you off, is going to bring you down to a low frequency and vibration, or what I do, the minute I open my eyes, I think of 3 things that I'm grateful for. Automatically raises your frequency and vibration. Then I do a zip up for protection. And that's what I want you guys to do. Do it like before you even get out of bed. You go down to your pelvic bone and act like you're zipping up a jacket and zip yourself up. I personally like Archangel Michael, but depending on what your belief system is, whatever higher power you believe in, just ask that person. I say, Archangel Michael, white light, white light, white light, and I bring it up to my lip. Archangel Michael shields up, and you lock it in. You can say it to anybody, the universe, whoever, for protection. Just white light, white light, white light, and bring it up again, shields up, and lock it in. Then you'll be bubble wrapped in protection. Or you don't even have to say those words. You can just zip up and say, please bubble wrap me in protection. So you're nice and bubble wrapped. If you want to go a step further, like I do sometimes, I ask for a wall of mirrors around me to deflect any negative energies that come my way and ricochet them back to the sender. So you can
I like that.
yeah, you can do a double bubble, do the bubble wrap and then ask for a wall of mirrors around you to deflect all negativity in all its forms and ricochet it back to the sender. So that's going to protect you. And then I also want you to set an intention when you first go into the salon. Just say to yourself, today I'm setting intention. And your one thing to always ask for is simplicity in your day. So I always ask for, you can ask for simplicity, magical beauty transformations in my client, and ease and flow. You want your day to be simple. You don't want to run into issues with color formulas and things going wrong. So set that intention, like do your zip up, set the intention. Today, I want simplicity, magical beauty transformations, and ease and flow. You're already starting your day telling the universe how you want it to go. You're raising your vibrations. You already did your 3 things you're grateful for. That raised your vibrations. So you're walking in to your salon at a high vibration. And then the laws of the universe, you're attracting to yourself things that are equal. So those clients coming in are going to be matching your frequency and vibration. And you can also do this other thing that I love to do. It's called segment intending, where you tell the universe how you want things to go. So as you're driving to the salon, this commute is going to be a breeze. I'm going to make mostly green lights. I'm going to get a parking spot out front. Any way you want your day to go, you start telling the universe. And before a client is coming to sit in your chair, tell the universe how you want that exchange to go. If you sit there and say, oh no, Mrs. Clark's coming, this is going to be a nightmare, shoot, you already went down into fear. You're not up in love and abundance. You're down in worry and fear. When you're up in love and abundance, you're up in faith and trust. When you're down in fear, worry and fear, faith and trust and worry and fear asked us to do the same thing, and that's believe in something that you can't see. And our minds are so programmed to go to the absolute worst possible scenario, and we have to fire and rewire our brains and go to the best possible scenario. And you want to pre-pave it. You want to be up at that higher vibration and say, this is going to be a beautiful exchange with Mrs. Clark. She's going to be in a great mood. We're going to laugh. We're going to have a great time together. Watch your day change because you're already pre-paving. You're already raising your vibration for that day at the salon. And you're going to call in the clients that are at that higher vibration. It's the way the laws work. And a lot of us don't realize that from different things that have happened over our lifetime, like different traumas and situations we've been through, there's energies that we may have never released from our body. And they can be anywhere from the size of a baseball to a grapefruit. And they can get lodged in different areas of our body, and we don't even realize it. And we also build heart walls around our heart for protection from different things that have happened to us. So anybody who comes in to see me, I automatically give them an hour of Reiki to balance all their energies in their body, all their chakras. We have a seven different spinning vortexes of energy in us. And they're all tied in with organs and glands. And when those vortexes are spinning, open and spinning, everything's great. But the biggest thing that affects them is our emotions. And you don't realize that hatred affects your heart, anger and resentment affect your liver and gallbladder, Fear affects your kidneys, bladder, and low back. So the different emotions we're feeling, we don't even realize how much it's affecting our health. And I can't tell you how many miracles I get to see on a weekly basis, just getting a person's chakras balanced and then doing emotion code or body code on them. We, through kinesiology or muscle testing, I muscle test to see if they have any trapped emotions. And we release the trapped emotions, and I work on getting heart walls down. And it is incredible, the difference in how they feel just getting a heart wall down. I had a woman who lost her husband at 40, 2 young children. She came in and she had pain in her right trapezius muscle for like a year and a half. And we did Reiki and the emotion code, and she had a bunch of trapped emotions. She had a huge heart wall, and we got it down. And I said, okay, how does the trapezius muscle feel? Gone. One visit, trapezius muscle gone. So emotion code is getting rid of like trapped emotions that you may have. And then Psych K is another modality that I love that can transform different situations that you're going through or a health issue. Working on different limiting beliefs that you have. And it can turn situations from stress to peace within minutes. Like when our dad passed away, in the same year, me and Elaine's dad passed away and my ex-husband passed away 4 months before. And we had been friends. And after those two deaths, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. And one session of Psych K with a friend of me and Elaine's, and the elephant was off my chest. It was like one visit. So it's a really powerful modality that works so quickly and effectively. And when you get rid of all this stuff in us, the heart walls, the trapped emotions, the limiting beliefs, that's raising your frequency and vibration too. You're going to feel so much better, and you're going to be feeling better. Your salon the vibration is going to rise because you're, in a better frequency and vibration. Your salon's going to be in a better frequency and vibration. But you just be amazed at how much I'm open 6 years now. And I have yet to have somebody, when I test, I love and appreciate myself. I've yet to have someone not have a weak response on that. And it's surprising because you think, I love myself, because it happened to me too. I was like, I love myself. But you're thinking that on your conscious level, I love myself. But your subconscious has heard you for years busting on yourself, saying things, I'm terrible at this, terrible. I mean, and your subconscious is like, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. I don't think you believe that. So just working on that one thing in Psych K, I love and appreciate myself, takes care of so many things. And another thing is I am safe. And you think, well, I feel safe. Get tons and tons of weak reactions to that. And as soon as we change that, that's a game changer too. I've seen just so many beautiful transformations. I just saw one this weekend. I went to an advanced training, and one of the guys in my class has had back pain for 2 years now. And in the workshop, he had to work on fear that he had with his divorce and a lot of parental alienation things going on, and walked out of that workshop without the low back pain. And I walked in with a floater in my left eye, and I had to work on setting healthy boundaries and deserving respect. and walked out of the workshop without the floater. So it's just like you don't realize what different conditions on our body are trying to give us messages about things that we have to address that, you just don't even realize.
So I think the hardest thing for you is getting people to understand what it is that you do. Like Colleen, our mutual friend that did Psyche on me, that I was introduced to Psyche, and you have to spell it, Renee. When I go to Google it, I always have it. Isn't it like PS?
PSYCH and then K.
Okay, so it's a hard thing to Google, but if you Google it, I was having, and all of you know because I share everything on these coffee chats. I was having frozen shoulder and I had a torn rotator cuff, and I had a surgery lined up for days before Christmas several years ago. And I was not happy about it because I was told the recovery is brutal, lots of physical therapy, being out of work for a very long time. I was not happy. I couldn't hook my bra. I couldn't put a seatbelt on. I couldn't lift anything. This arm was completely useless. So Colleen, who did all of these things that Renee now does, we were on the beach and she said, I really hate to see you have a surgery. It's may not be necessary. I'm like, Colleen, a piece of my body is torn. None of your woo-woo stuff is going to fix a torn piece of my body. And she was like, can we just try? Can you just give me 2 sessions? We did it over Zoom, guys. Like it wasn't even like she's this, magical witch stirring up a brew and I have to smell things and taste things and touch things. Like it's not witchcraft. It was over Zoom. And she asked me a series of questions similar to what Renee's saying, like, say, look, put your head down, feet flat on the floor and say, I love myself. And she could sense whether I truly believe that or not, just all those terms Renee was just sharing. And by the end of the session, I felt a lot better, like noticeably better in the shoulder. I went and started doing physical therapy. I canceled the surgery. And here I am. It's probably 3 years later. No issues with the shoulder, totally healed from 2 Zoom sessions with this Psyche. My son needed his tonsils out. It's brutal when you're not a baby, when you have your tonsils out. He was 21, probably. I was 21 when I had mine out. It was awful. Colleen said, Jack, do me a favor, do this meditation right before you go into the surgery. Now, he's a 21-year-old kid. He doesn't understand any of this woo stuff. He's like, Mom, really? I'm like, just do it. It can't hurt. What's the big deal? You have to close your eyes and listen to something. He did the meditation right before he went in for the surgery. He did a follow-up appointment during his healing time, and it was a brutal surgery. He was out of it. And Colleen did a Zoom with him afterwards. So 2 sessions, one pre-surgery, one post-surgery. He went back for his follow-up visit, and his doctor said, I have never seen someone as an adult getting this surgery heal so quickly. So it's like, why wouldn't you try it? It's crazy. And I've seen you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I've seen you go through traumatic things in your life from the time, you were in your early 20s, having, a boyfriend killed in a car accident, having another boyfriend like you had several people die very young in your life and never went to therapy, never talked about it. You just like sucked it up, buttercup, kept going about your life, but it affected who you chose as a partner, who you married. Every single decision and everything in your life from bottling up that emotion from all those years ago is what created the life that you're in now. When I was doing life coaching and my coach would say, I would be bitching about something that happened in the salon and she'd say, but what about that did you create? And I'd be like, I didn't create any of it. I had this like, it's not me, it's them.
Right.
And to your point, it was me because I was coming into the situation and interviewing this person with my emotional baggage and my heart wall completely closed off because I'd been burnt so many times that's how I went into every situation. So of course, when my emotional state is down low and negative, like Why am I even going to hire this person? Why am I even going to bother training them? Because they're just going to stick it up my ass and they're going to steal my clients and leave me, because that's what had happened. By not releasing any of that emotion and any of those situations, I kept bringing it into the new hire, the new person, and I just kept getting what I've always gotten. And it was so frustrating, and it never ended until I discovered all of these things that you're talking about.
Right.
But what I started to say before this big rant is the hardest thing for you, I think, is getting people who are listening right now to say, what's your phone number? I need a session, because they don't really get how powerful it is. And you and I
Right.
have talked about like people that we grew up with that were not woo at all, like guys that hung out at the corner bar that go to happy hour every Friday and do shots and, shots and beers, coming and laying on your table and getting these amazing results. But it was getting them to lay on your table that was the
Right.
hardest part, not the outcome, not the actually doing of anything. Because with these modalities, anyone who's listening, you don't have to do anything. You just have to lay there. Like there's
Right.
no, you have to change your religion. You have to, like, sometimes Renee will get a little too woo. And I'm like, don't talk about the woo. Just talk about the issue. What's the pain point? What's the solution? And how to connect pain point to you so that you can take care of the solution. The person listening doesn't need to know the how it happens. They just need to know that it happens.
Right.
I've seen it firsthand in so many, Colleen taught us both. I did a session with Colleen. She lived in Jersey and I was in PA. And I got off the table and I knew I felt amazing. I didn't know why. I didn't know what the hell just happened, because I just laid there. And at first I'm like, oh, and when she told me how much it was, I was like, oh, wow, I don't know if I got my money's worth, because I don't know what the hell just happened. And she said, oh, I feel so terrible. I went over a little bit because we were so deep into the session. I wanted to keep going, which I appreciate it. And then she said, but I'm putting you out in the worst traffic time. So I want to teach you how to free up the traffic on the way home. And she taught me how to do this
Yeah. Clear before.
Every time I get in the car, my husband and I will be going to dinner. He hates going into Center City, St. Pete, because it's always the parking debacle. And I say, stop saying there's, he'll say, there's not going to be any parking. We're going to be stuck in traffic. Talk about being at a low vibration. He's like the president of the low vibration club. So he's bitching the whole way. And I'm like, la, 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 la. And I do my little thing. And as he's ready to open his mouth to bitch again, someone pulls out of like the prime spot that's right in front of the restaurant. And I just look at him. He's like, you're right. You were right.
Yeah.
So it's that belief that the good can happen, and not living. And I'm so guilty of it. I tend to lean negative in this age of mine that I don't like, because of past experience. Oh, it's going to be crowded. It's going to be hot. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Like, just shifting your mindset is key. But I want you to talk about fear in the sense of what everyone listening to right now always has: the fear of any type of change, fear of raising prices, fear of changing schedule, fear of, shifting from a paper book to a digital book. How can someone use one of these techniques and modalities to get rid of the fear that keeps them trapped in doing things they've always done, knowing that there can be and should be a better way?
That is perfect with Psych K. And I worked on that stuff through Psych K, because I know what those money issues are like. And money is energy. And a lot of us have money stories from growing up, how our parents were, and, you know, we're energetically operating through those old beliefs that we have, that we grew up with. And I actually have a video on my YouTube about how money is energy, and that don't be afraid to spend it, because every time you spend, you're going to get it back fourfold, because the energy goes out and then multiplies, and then it'll come back to you fourfold. So you can't be afraid to spend, but you have to be up at a high frequency. Like, I give affirmations to say, like, I am ready to receive all the abundance the universe has to offer. Galore, galore. I have everything I need and more, because the universe likes gratitude. And
Does the
money.
universe like rhymes too? Galore, galore.
And money flows to me easily, effortlessly, and harmoniously in expected and unexpected ways. So there are affirmations to say that help you raise your vibration. But I'm actually going to work on a follow-up money video, because you can do all the affirmations in the world. You can say that every day, but in the next minute, if you say, I'm never going to be able to charge that, you just went shoot right down into fear, lack, and scarcity. You went down to that lower vibration, and you're not on the frequency of love and abundance where the money comes rolling in. So it's all paying attention to this emotional guidance system. And when you feel yourself going down into lack, catch yourself and say, no, that's if you want a designer bag and it's $2,000 and your first indication is the negative, I'll never be able to afford that. Right down in lack, scarcity, and fear. Delete, delete, delete. You say, that's the perfect price, and I'll have that at the perfect time. Raise your vibration. You're up more believing in love and abundance. Like, don't keep going down into that lack and scarcity. And I tend to do this too. I feel bad because with all my services, insurance doesn't cover it. So I feel bad that they don't have insurance. And I'm always like, oh, are they going to be able to afford this? Well, I'm assuming lack for them.
Right.
I'm assuming you're at a lower vibration and can't afford it. And I'm putting that on you. And you have to look at them with unconditional love and abundance. You're going to be a loving and abundant person, and don't put them down in lack and scarcity.
We do that in the salon all the time, where, perfect example, one of Bryn, who, if you don't know, that's my daughter, her friend came in to get color, and it was a complicated color. And it took hours and hours, and she loved it. And I kept vacillating back and forth between, I did a great job, I deserve the amount that it's the full price. Oh, but it's Bryn's friend. She's in college. She doesn't have any money. They don't even have enough money for pizza when they're in college. So the whole entire time, the whole time I was doing her hair, regular price discount, regular price discount. I met myself in between, where I didn't do like a major discount, but I did do a discount. And as the amount was coming out of my mouth, she pulls out a bank envelope with the most crispy, brand new $100 bills. And there was a stack of them. And she said, oh my gosh, is that all? My grandma gave me money to pay for my hair. Now I'm going to go shopping after this. I was so pissed at myself, because I'm like, shame on me. She didn't do anything wrong. She would have given me the whole entire envelope. She was prepared to spend a lot more than I judged what she was prepared
what
to
she could afford. Right. You put her down in lack.
Put her down. Yeah. And I did it to myself. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. But I also don't ever assume that they do have more money than, what they might have. And I always have the conversation and the consultation to let them know ahead of time, because I don't want to do the flip.
Blind.
Like, I'm just going to charge whatever the heck I want and then blindside them at the register. So I think that's the differentiation that a lot of hairdressers, there's so many things that were coming up for me when you were explaining the whole vibration thing. I know for myself, when I was pulling up to the salon and I was very unhappy at the end, I did not want to be there. I wanted to be in a warm climate. I wanted to move. I wanted to get the hell away from there. And it showed. It showed on my face. It showed in my dealing with the staff and my dealing with the clients. Like, I could bring a room down with a look, like just me glaring at somebody that didn't do a shampoo right or didn't do something. And I would just be like, with the eye roll and and I would watch it happen. Like, I would walk in and everybody would be having a great day. To your point, you were just there. You said everybody was amazing. I'm not there. I would walk in and I would just see the whole entire, it was like a fog that just laid over top of all the furniture, all the people, and all the clients, where like I was in such a negative space that I could take an entire room down with my attitude. And we see it. And I know people watching are thinking, oh, this one girl in the salon, she's the Debbie Downer. Every salon has a bad apple, a Debbie Downer. There's everybody has a different character trait. But what happens is we don't realize, and I'm glad that you brought that up in this chat, that we can have an effect on how that person behaves by the way that we behave. Instead of letting them bring us to them, we need to bring them to us and change how they are behaving. And I've had, now that I understand the things that you're doing and teaching and helping people with, I can shift a client's attitude just in the way that I can shift the conversation, seeing where they are and being aware of these emotions. I can completely change how they're interacting with me by the way that I interact with them. And it's like a magic. I always said when I was doing the life coaching to Alejandra, I'm like, I feel like I have this like superhero cape on that nobody else knows about how to get a cape. And I'm the only one that has it because I can literally shift people's emotional state just by how I interact with them. And that's what you love about what you do is you get to see the visible physical difference of how somebody walks out of your office versus how they came in, or how they end a Zoom call versus how they came into the call. And I know we didn't get into your background, but Renee has been in a job in insurance that she has hated for 30 years. Right. So in addition to the ex-husband passing, my dad passing, issues with her kids' health and things like that, she also had a job she absolutely hated. And now she's able to do things like this to help other people help themselves while also living a life of service. Like you've always been a giver. You've always been an over giver and had your own energy sucked out of you. Right. And now you've found a way to have a career that you can help people while also protecting your own energy and helping other people protect theirs. So at this point, I know that some people on here are just woo enough from listening to me all these years to say, okay, I'm in. I want a session. I have carpal tunnel. I have tendonitis. I have frozen shoulder. I have bad knees. I have hip pain. How can they get in touch with you and how can they get a session with you?
Okay. My websites are www.holisticgroove.com. And I'm also partners with another Reiki master, Eddie McGlinchey, in Angelic Light Healing. So you can, all the different modalities and prices are on that new website that you can check out at www.angeliclighthealingllc.com. And I have a YouTube channel, Holistic Groove Renee Lennox CHHP, and I have a ton of different holistic videos. And you can also check out on there, I have a 30-day today's going to be a great day challenge that I have all my clients do. And it's, as soon as you wake up in the morning, and this is a way to get you up to a higher vibration, you're going to do the 3 things you're grateful for. You're going to do that zip up for protection, bubble wrapping yourself. And then you say, today is a fabulous day. Everything's going my way because things are always working out for me. My body does nothing but wellness. Wouldn't think of doing anything but wellness. Every cell in my body is happy and healthy. And today something unexpected and blank is going to happen. And I go through the alphabet: unexpected and amazing, unexpected and beautiful, unexpected and caring. And I don't know if you remember, Elaine, when we were in Nashville, do you remember we were on the strip having a great time and we came out and we were leaving to get an Uber. And there was this little old man, like 2 blocks down, that came meandering through the crowd. And he comes up to me, Elaine, and our friend Truda, and comes up and hands me a rose. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And you were like, how come you got the rose, bitch? And I was like, because I asked for something unexpected and extraordinary today. And you were like, oh my God. But it's amazing. If you try this 30-day experiment, watch for 30 days, watch your whole world turn around. Watch your frequency and vibration rise, your salon's frequency and vibrations rise. And I'm actually working on an online program for stylists called Salon Harmony, Cultivating Energy and Health for Stylists, because just living with Elaine and knowing the whole salon world through her, I really want to help all the stylists with, the natural health things for you to keep in mind, because I know you keep the crazy hours, you're working all day, you can't do the typical breakfast, lunch, dinner. So this course is going to have all like the natural foundations of health that you need to follow as a stylist. And I'm going to get into all the energetic stuff on how to protect yourself and, just help you with, because you're energy healers and I want you to be protected, and it's really going to help you. And also the Step Into Your Power program that we have is off the charts. It's a 3-session program for anyone who is ready to change and wants to step into their power and discover who they really are. It's phenomenal. The first session is with me and Ed, and you'll have a dual Reiki session. And we figure out, in that conversation, we figure out any like things that are holding you back and things like that. And then the second session is with me, and I do emotion code, body code, psych K type things on you, depending on what your needs are. And then the third session is with Ed doing theta healing. And by the end of those 3 sessions, you will be a rock star. Like, you are just going to feel so much better. So definitely reach out to me if you're ready for change and you want to get those heart walls down, get rid of all those trapped emotions, get rid of those limiting beliefs with money. If you're single and you're trying to date, it's perfect for that, because you want to get rid of all the gunk. You want to be the best version of yourself that you are, because that's what you want to call in as your soulmate. If you're down where I was, a hot mess, going through the divorce and my dad and flooding, and you're down at such a low vibration, and that's who you're calling in, a mate that is at that same low, hot mess frequency and vibration. But if you go through this Step Into Your Power and release all this stuff, you're going to love it.
That sounds amazing. So I will put all the, Renee said a lot of links, and I know it's hard to remember all of them. So I'll put all of that below this, the show notes for this, so that you have them, so you can just click on the hyperlinks. So I'll take care of that. But in the meantime, check out her YouTube, and everything that she just said, every one of those options does not have to be in person. It can be over Zoom. Just
yes. And they work perfectly, whether it's in person or virtual. So don't hesitate, because you've witnessed that. I've done all these things on you virtually.
Yeah.
And there's no difference.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you everyone for listening. We will see you all on the next one.
Okay. Don't forget to zip up, guys.